I'm on the streets, dreaming about the day that we break up and find a picture. Looking for has been here the whole. And if you say that I'm the one who understands you, then you're all alone, so why can't you see? You belong with me. You belong with me.
All right,
Oh,
that's
what a
staying
good
in.
song.
That's staying in.
Did you record it? Yes. Yes. I was hoping you were going to.
That's
Oh my
staying
God.
in.
Yeah, that is absolutely staying in, dude. Oh my God. That's gonna be great. Holy crap. Hell yeah.
Fantastic start.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. All right, let's get moving. We
Woo.
got we got some good football this week, man.
Yes,
We're looking at
indeed.
all games this week, no buys.
Oh yeah,
Like and four games on Thursday. Like
four.
you said, four games on Thursday. Three. Sorry. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Three on Thursday, one on Friday, which the first Black Friday game ever.
Yes.
So we have three Thanksgiving games. Sure, a lot of people will be watching those all day. And then we got the Black Friday game, the Dolphins at Jets, and we have a decent amount of 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. So, we're locked and loaded this week.
Oh yes. Oh.
Yeah. All right. So welcome back to Misty Meadows Moneyline podcast. We're going to be going through all 16 games this week, kind of recapping on last week as we go through all the games. I mean, we had a couple of things that happened this past week. We had Leonard who just got dropped. We had Joe Burrow who is done for the season.
Oh,
Um,
terrible news.
yeah, that's pretty tough. But I mean, they paid him such big money for that, like this season, and sure enough, he gets injured. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we had a bunch of good games this past week. Bills finally won a game, and with Joe Brady, new offensive coordinator, so that was a big deal. I really enjoyed that game. Watching that game was exciting. So
Oh, I sorry. I forgot that just muting this on OBS doesn't mute it for Discord. So Riker just heard me cough super loud into the mic. My bad. The recording did not, but Riker suffered.
okay, yeah.
Um,
All right.
sorry.
Anything else you want to add?
Uh, it's gonna be a great Thanksgiving weekend. Lots of food, lots of football,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and hopefully the trend continues with our bets because we lost 8 week 1 that we did this. Then we lost 5. Then we lost 5.
Yeah.
And then last
Yeah.
week we lost 3. We
Yeah.
only missed 3. So
That's not bad.
we're getting better.
Yeah, it's not bad for what, 14 games last week, 12
Yeah.
games last week.
Yeah, and we beat the
So
wheel. Again,
we
two
did
weeks
beat
in
the
a row
wheel.
we beat the
Yep.
wheel. Not
I'm
really
loving it.
surprising though because the wheel chose like a lot of underdogs.
Right. But yeah, so happy Thanksgiving to all you and your families. And um, I'm thankful for football and thankful that I'm going on a trip for Thanksgiving. So
Yes, very nice.
it's,
Lucky you.
yeah, right. But all right, let's get into the first game. We have the Packers at the Lions. Um, so it's Thursday at 1,
Yep.
which is amazing. So we have a game at 1, 4, and 8. The Packers odds are is that plus 295?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, plus 295. And the Lions money line is minus 375, and the Lions are minus 7.5. So I mean, jumping right into the Lions, there's a decent amount to say about this team. I mean, this team hasn't been 8-2 since 1962, which is, I mean, that's an outrageous long time
Yeah.
to not have a good record like that. Considering the players they've had over the years, like Barry Sanders and Megatron and everybody. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
still weren't able to make a 8-2 start since then. So very impressed with the way they've been playing. Their running back core is absolutely ridiculous with Montgomery and Gibbs. Montgomery with the long rushes, sort of a goal line running back too, and then Gibbs again. He's been having a great season ever since they put him in when Montgomery got hurt. There's some things on defense that need to be worked through, but their offense holds their own with little to no, like pretty much no problems, to be honest with you. Very rarely will you see the offense play inconsistently. So it's just amazing to watch this team succeed and play well this season.
Yeah. So the Lions' records obviously, their record this season obviously shows how impressive their offense is. And then,
Yep.
we have the Packers are there. It's an away game for the Packers. It's a divisional matchup, and last week they really surprised us. They held the Chargers to only 20 points, and they played a pretty good game. Jordan Love
Yeah.
has 10 interceptions on the season, and the team needs to help not turn the ball over so much. The turnovers are costly in other games. This one they just happened to uh, happen to just get ahead for the win. But keeping the ball in their hands will result in more opportunities for larger wins. And A.J.
Yep.
Dillon is currently the lead running back, so we'll see what he can do on Thursday. It's looking to be an exciting game if the Packers can keep the offensive front that they showed off last week. And then, it's going to be a good matchup overall anyways because it's a division rival game.
Yep. Yep.
Not really rival, but division matchup. Um,
Right.
the wheel picked the Lions, and I am going to agree with that.
Yep. Me too.
It's a home game. It's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Crowd's gonna be excited. So
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be a good game. Lions are definitely winning this game.
yeah, I think so too.
Lions money line.
Lions. And then the -7.5 spread. I feel like it's achievable.
I think
But
so.
if the Packers offense keeps up, I think we're looking at maybe a closer game. Still kind of iffy
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably for this week. I'm gonna go because I've been having some troubles with making parlays and then losing by a leg. And it's normally a spread. So I might just start going money line more often,
Okay.
unless the spread is looking really good, just in my opinion. So because money line's always the safest bet, but it's kind of really up to you what you guys think is like better. If the spread's better, if you like the money line better, whatever the odds are.
All right. So then I guess for this week we're just gonna be talking about money lines, but I'm gonna keep track of the spreads anyways, just because I have all
Yeah,
the I
yeah,
have all the numbers saved. So
yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
moving into the Thursday at 4, we have the Commanders at the Cowboys. The money line for the Commanders is plus 455. For the Cowboys, minus 625. And the spread is minus 11 in favor of the Cowboys. Um, I guess I'll start with the Commanders here. Their
Okay.
offense looked normal. They continued with their progress on the ground and in the air, and it looked great. Unfortunately, Sam Howell had 3 interceptions, which means that they lost 3 opportunities to score, and they suffered because of it. The offense remains like what we've seen in the past couple weeks, and they avoid turnovers. They'll pose a threat to the Cowboys' defense, which is absolutely likely based on what we've seen when they played the Eagles, who also have a strong defense in their division, and they kept the score close.
Right.
So I feel like the odds are obviously in favor of the Cowboys, but I think this will be a closer game than most people are thinking.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like the Cowboys offense is still strong. I mean, against these lackluster defenses, Tony Pollard finally gets his first touchdown since week 1, which is absolutely like like nobody really expected that.
Yeah.
After Elliott left, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Tony Pollard was the guy when he was still there, so he's going to be the guy again this year." And he really hasn't been. So that was after an 8 game drought too, and Dak limited in passing yards, not even 200, but still 2 passing touchdowns. I mean, he's literally entering a game, playing the first 3 quarters, and then getting benched for Cooper Rush because of how good he's playing. So
Yeah.
it's like this offense is genuinely going to be a problem for the Commanders' defense if they aren't prepared. But I think in their game plan, I assume they're going to go, okay, listen, all hands on deck on defense. Like if we can get the offense going, good. The Cowboys' defense is decently strong, but if the Commanders can really get that defense going on Thursday, they'll be able to stop the Cowboys from exploding in score, like just racking up the points like nobody's business.
Yeah. This is, I mean, obviously both offenses have proven that they can put points on the board. It's just going to be a
Hmm.
matter of whose defense shows to be a little bit better.
Yeah,
And I think both offense and defense is kind of leaning more towards the Cowboys, but it's definitely going to be closer than this. I would assume closer than this 11-point spread that is predicted.
I would think so. It's the first actual team that the Cowboys have played in the past couple of weeks. So it's like, because the Panthers and the Giants and they've just been racking up points nonstop. So
Yeah. The wheel chose the Cowboys, and I feel like that's probably still going to be the outcome.
yeah,
Um,
I think so.
but yeah, I'm disagreeing with the 11-point spread. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
it's not like 17 and a half against the Giants, who we knew were going to struggle to put up points. It's
Right, right.
an offense that knows what they're doing. So
Yeah,
Cowboys
yeah.
money line is definitely the safe pick. I would just stick with that because the Commanders have what it takes to give them some trouble. So
Yeah. Yep. And moving on to the last Thursday game, Thursday night, we have the 49ers at the Seahawks. So the 49ers money line is minus 290, and the Seahawks money line is plus 235. And the spread for the Seahawks is plus 6.5. So 49ers is minus 6.5. Um, so we have the 49ers. They were on a 3 game losing streak, but have won their past 2 games since their bye week and picking up Chase Young during that time off that they weren't playing. So McCaffrey with a touchdown last week, hoping to recontinue his streak. Again, apologize for all the bettors that kept doubling down on McCaffrey touchdown and losing all their money, but you know the streak had to end at some point. Nobody thought it was going to end in a tie, but it really is what it is. This team is extremely dominant, and I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a big win. I mean, Brock Purdy's been playing great. Kittle, Ayuk, 2 great wide receivers. As also Debo's back, the jet sweeps, those are great. So they've been getting a lot of action through the air and on the ground. But I mean, not only the run game with McCaffrey, but the receiving game with McCaffrey, and then Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, all those guys really dangerous on the offensive side.
oh yeah, their offense is continuing to be a powerhouse as long as they have players healthy
Yeah.
and playing
Yep.
well.
Yeah.
And then looking at the Seahawks, unfortunately, Geno did not look too great last week in their loss against the Rams. There were a couple of missed opportunities and not enough time to bounce back from these mistakes. Walker barely did anything with 4 carries and 18 yards, but the Seahawks are an unpredictable team. They're 6-4. They'll be under a lot of pressure from the 49ers defense. If they can manage to get the ball out in time, then their offense is likely to carry on the way that they have been. But that defense creates a lot of pressure, and if they're not ready for it,
Yeah.
they're just going to be losing a lot of yards in the backfield. So
Yeah.
it makes sense why this spread is uh, as high as it is, especially you as a 49ers team continues to grow after this bye week.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
the wheel chose the Seahawks, and I do not agree. I'm going to choose the 49ers.
Yep.
They just look to be better on both sides of the ball. Um, it's an away game for them. It's a divisional matchup. Um, you know, it's I don't know if they have they played together this season already. Is this their second time facing each other? I
I
don't
don't
remember.
know actually. I want to say no, but I could be wrong. I think this is their first time meeting.
Okay. Um, well, if it is their first time meeting, then we'll see how it goes. It'll kind of set the tone for the second game in this season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
no, so they play it first time is tomorrow, and then the second time is in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. Yep.
So this game will set the tone for in 2 weeks when they're at the 49ers.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Um, but yeah, so spread is -6.5 in favor of the 49ers. We're going to stray away from that this week, but the wheel chose the
Yeah.
Seahawks, and we are going with the 49ers.
Yeah. 49ers money line, baby. Um, all right. Divisional matchup here. Wow.
A lot
Black
of them
Friday game.
right off the bat.
Yeah, seriously. Black Friday game, first ever. Amazon Prime hosting this game. Friday at 3 p.m. Extremely weird time, but well, I'll take football every day if I could.
Yeah,
I mean, it's what it's literally going to be is 3 games Thursday. No, I don't give a shit about the NBA. Sorry, 3 games Thursday, a game Friday. You have Ohio State versus Michigan on Saturday, which is going to be the biggest game of college football this year.
yeah,
And then you have
that's gonna be a big
Sunday
one.
games, Sunday night game, Monday night game. So you have literally 5 days straight of football. And I mean, if you're not sitting around all day on your couch eating Thanksgiving leftovers for the rest of the weekend, drinking beer, what are you doing, man? Right? Like what
Yeah,
are you doing?
everybody should be in a food coma. Watching football.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So yeah, first ever Black Friday game. Dolphins at the Jets. Sorry. So 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 we have the Dolphins -520, the Jets +390, and the Dolphins are -10. I mean, I don't even know what to say about the Jets really, other than the fact that their quarterback um, room is just an absolute disaster. Um,
Ugh.
Back-to-back division matchups means the Jets will need a win this week if they even want a chance at the playoffs. I mean, if they lose again this week, it's probably over because I mean, Tim Boyle starting now because Zach Wilson has finally been benched. Still hoping for Rodgers to make a comeback so we can stop watching this like god awful offense. Like, can't even get the ball to Garrett Wilson so bad.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, last week against the Bills, the offense was miserable. The defense didn't look great either. I mean, the Bills put up 32 points on them, and the Jets defense is supposed to be really good. Um,
yeah,
so, I mean, the defense is really gonna have to step it up against an even arguably a higher caliber offense as of recently for the Dolphins. So the Jets are gonna have to find something on offense because if they can't, then this game is completely out of reach for them.
yeah. That's for sure. Um, and then the Dolphins did miss a beat against the Raiders. Their offense continued to put points on the board. They are facing a slightly stronger defense in New York, but I don't know. I feel like they'll be prepared for it. Um,
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think the Jets defense is going to be enough to count them out of this game.
Yeah, no.
Because they've played stronger defenses and still managed to put up a good number of points. Um,
Yep.
and the Jets offense uh, having another replacement quarterback. Um, I feel like any defense is really going to be capable of sort of preventing the Jets from putting points on the board.
Yep.
Um, so I feel like this is a respectable 10-point spread for the Dolphins. Um, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a clear choice here. Dolphins offense is
Right.
great. Jets offense is lacking.
Yeah.
But
In every
it's just
aspect.
an uneven matchup on both sides of the ball. the wheel picked the Jets, and the clear choice is take the Dolphins money line
The
this week.
Dolphins, yeah, we're not agreeing with the wheel here. No way the Jets are winning this game, even though they need to.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
No. All right, so moving into the Sunday games now. We have our first game we have is Bucks at the Colts. The Bucks are plus 114. The Colts are minus 135. Bucks are minus 2.5. Um, Leonard for the Colts, like I said before, had just been released. Kind of shocking, lead wide. Nobody really expected it. I saw a video where the same day he got released by the Colts, he was handing out turkeys for people in a neighborhood in Indianapolis, which is like, okay, so, but why are you cutting this man? I mean, he's a good player. He's a good human outside of the game, and like what really is happening behind the scenes. So
Yeah, it
not really
makes you
many people
question it.
know that, but he wasn't. I guess he just wasn't performing. Like he wasn't putting up the stats that they needed him to. But he still has time left in the league. I mean, I think he's 28, so he has some time left. But aside from that, they're coming off a bye week after two wins to two of the worst teams in the league. I think it was the Pats and the
I think
Panthers.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Jonathan Taylor and Moss are still splitting carries, even after signing Taylor to that big contract. Um, looking at the stats as of now, Moss has the better stats, but he also did play four extra games on top of Taylor.
Yeah.
So you could argue that, but he's still been playing great. Currently, the Bucks are at a great decline, so there's a chance of winning this game. The only thing that the Colts offense have to be aware of is the Buccaneers' red zone defense, which is still uh, one of the best in the league. I think top five in the league.
Yeah, their defense is really good when they're inside their own 35. you
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm just checking to see if any of the stats have changed real quick. No, it's still 2.5. Okay, so the spread's the
Okay.
same. The Bucks, Baker Mayfield is all over the place this year. He's got good games, he's got bad games. He's struggling to find some open targets, and he's not very mobile in the pocket, which, as we've seen with some other quarterbacks in the league, being able to move around is very beneficial for an
Yeah.
offense. We'll see if Evans and Godwin can get something going, and the run game can stay consistent. We're looking for a good matchup for both of these teams. They're both middle of the line. This is kind of a middle of the season. Like, if they can start on a win streak, then they're set. If not, then
Yeah.
they might struggle for the back half. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it goes. This is going to be like a very even matchup.
I think so. Yeah.
Kind of like they each have their strengths, but the other team has a strength like to oppose that, whether that's an offense defense matchup or the opposite for each team.
Right.
But I think it'll be close. This could be a toss-up game for sure.
Yeah, I
The
think so.
wheel
Um,
chose the Bucks. Um, I don't really know who I would want to pick here. I mean, the Colts are
I
favored, but
the Colts are favored.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I said the Bucks are favored. I meant the Colts. Didn't know. Um, yeah, I'm picking the Colts money line here, honestly.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I don't think the Bucks can pull it off. I really don't think so. I think the Colts are looking for a win. I mean, both of these teams are, so they're both going to be playing hard on both sides of the ball. But I think the Colts come out with a win here.
Fair enough. Real quick, I'm just looking up the looking up. Tampa is fifth ranked defense for run game. The fifth ranked run
Okay.
defense. So I
Okay.
mean,
Gotcha.
if they can shut out Moss and Taylor, then the Bucks
Yep.
obviously stand a chance. But I feel like
Right.
having both of them splitting carries, it's going to be tough to figure out like who's going where, who's doing what.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll agree with you on this. I think I'll take the Colts. Just kind of
Yeah.
put some opposition to the wheel. I guess
Yeah.
that's
Think so.
kind of the trend a little bit here. Seems like a reasonable pick. I mean,
Think so. Yeah. All right. Next we have the Patriots at Giants at the Patriots.
the
Um,
no.
Pa- Patriots at the Giants.
The team on the left is away, and the team on the
Okay.
right is home. And then
Okay.
the spread is what's
Because
listed for the home team.
because you put because you put the Dolphins and the Jets. The Jets are at home.
Is that not?
So the Jets and the Giants can't play at home at the same time. So one of the teams is away.
Oh, did I get that wrong? Uh,
Um,
oh no,
the
because the
Jets are.
Jets are on Friday.
Oh shit, you're right. You're right. Oh my
Yeah,
God, I didn't
yeah,
even think about
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're both at home.
I'm like,
Yeah,
what is this guy doing? Yeah, they
yeah,
can't play at the same stadium. Yeah.
couple days apart. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so Patriots at the Giants. Patriots minus 166. Giants plus 140, or other way around.
sorry. Read it again.
Patriots minus 166. Giants plus 140.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then the Patriots are minus 3.5. Giants are plus 3.5.
Yes.
Patriots, horrible matchup on both sides of the ball, really. So going into their bye week, we learned that Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi are the same QB, as they both suck, and we'll have to continue to see this garbage offense play again. It's so hard for Bill Belichick to really have a good running offense going if he doesn't have the quarterback to do it. Not not only the quarterback, but he also doesn't really have too many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Really, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's unfortunate to see.
the best player I can name off the top of my head is Ezekiel Elliott, and he's a goddamn running back. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I know like nothing about this team.
I mean,
Hopefully the defense can hold their own, but it's against a mediocre Giants team. I mean, they played well last week, so you kind of really don't know what's going to happen. But this is just yeah. Like I'm not even going to watch this game.
yeah, this is not going to be one that ends up on TV in my house.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then like you said, Giants are coming off of a shocking win against the Commanders. Puts them at 2-0 in that division matchup. Even with DeVito, he still balled out and got more passing touchdowns than Pickett has had all season, pretty much. Clearly not the same Giants team we saw last season. Dable will have to continue the win from last week into this week with an easier matchup. I didn't watch it, but it obviously seems like their offense clicked a little bit last week.
Yeah,
And then obviously the turnovers from the Commanders really helped them with
right,
those extra opportunities with the ball.
right, right,
Um,
right.
I don't know that they'll have the same luck with the Patriots quarterback. Probably a little less likely that they have as many turnovers. But the more opportunities that the Giants have with the ball, it shows that they can
Yeah,
do what it takes to get into the end zone with more opportunities. But we'll have to see what they can do if that's not the case. The wheel picked the Patriots, and I feel like it's a safe bet to agree. Also take the Patriots here.
yeah, yeah. I think
Um,
so.
like I said, it's a shocking win against the Commanders based on how their
Yeah,
offense has been doing this season. So, definitely a toss-up to see if the Giants' offense will perform the same. But the
Yep.
Patriots have been pretty consistent. Whether they win or lose, they're kind of averaging the same stats and score, except for
Right.
some outliers where they only put up like 3 or 6 points. But
Yeah. Yeah.
this, I mean, I'd like to say that this is kind of like a mid-off game. Like they're kind of
Yeah. Sort of.
kind of like two teams competing for third place. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna watch it, but I'll check the score when it's over.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think both of us, the Wheel and Misty Meadows, are both gonna pick the Patriots here.
Sounds good.
Next up, we have division matchup between the Steelers and the Bengals. The Steelers are minus 118, and the Bengals are plus 100 for the money line, and the spread is -1 in favor of the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense because the Bengals lost Burrow, and the Steelers are they're clicking on offense a little bit more, and especially now that Canada is out of the office.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes even further. But
Right.
I'm gonna start off with the Bengals here. Burrow is out. Likely means that the Bengals are going to be on a downward spiral the rest of the season. Even though they still have great receivers and running backs, it's likely that those guys will all play the same. But losing a QB will be tough the first week without them. We've seen that with
Yeah.
other teams. We saw that with Minnesota. Well, actually, technically, we did not see that with Minnesota. It was a bad example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You're
Josh
right.
Dobbs won the first game that he was there. But
Yeah. Yeah. You
you
can
know,
say we saw it with the Jets too.
yes, yeah, we saw it with the Jets. That's a great example. Um, um, who else? Who else has lost their quarterback? I mean, the Giants. They didn't win their first game with DeVito. I guess I'll say it with the Vikings still. Like they lost Jefferson. They lost the first game without him.
Right.
So losing a star player like that is tough for an offense. And their defense is good. Might be able to hold them in this game, but
Yeah.
I feel like their offense is probably not going to click as well as we have seen, especially now
Yeah.
that
I think so.
they're out their QB1.
Right. Yeah. And like the Steelers, I mean, the loss to the Browns last week, it's just a minor setback. They dropped to, I think they dropped to 6-4 now. Um, so their defense was able to keep the score low, only lost by 3. Is likely now that Matt Canada is gone, which now he is. We have that actually
Yeah.
the news today, I think it was that no,
It might have been yesterday, but it was definitely after I
yesterday,
wrote it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. So Matt Canada's gone. So we have I don't know who the interim is, but we're gonna have a new offensive coordinator on the Steelers side of the ball. So maybe that'll allow Kenny Pickett to get some more touchdowns. I mean, Danny DeVito, not fuck. Not Danny fucking DeVito. What's his name? What's his first name?
That's a good question. May as well be Danny DeVito.
I'll get Danny DeVito. Holy shit, dude.
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito. Oh my God. Um, yeah, Tommy DeVito has more touchdown passes pretty much this entire year than Pickett does. So I think we mentioned that, but yeah, like I don't know. The Steelers just keep on winning games. They just find ways to win games. I don't know how it's done, but they do what they need to do. Man, they
Yeah.
just crazy.
I think I said it last week, but they were on like the longest streak in the NFL for games under, was it 300 or 400 total yardage?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
ridiculous. And I just
Just
looked it up.
crazy.
The running back coach Eddie Faulkner is expected to take over as offensive coordinator.
Shit. Okay.
And then quarterback coach Mike Sullivan might be the play caller. That's what it looks like they're going to be doing for this week.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they've got some new guys in the house stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think I think the Steelers are going to be all right in this game. I don't think they have much to worry about,
Yeah.
especially because they held it so close against the Browns, even with their star defense.
Right. Right.
The wheel picked the Steelers, and I agree. I mean,
I do too.
maybe the Bengals can pull something off because they do still have those offensive weapons, but um, you know, I I don't know. I still want to stick with the Steelers on this.
Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna go Steelers. Steelers money line on this one.
All right, fair enough. The next one on the list we have the Panthers at the Titans. The Panthers are plus 150, the Titans are minus 180, and the spread is minus 3.5 in favor of the Titans. The wheel picked the Panthers, so I'll talk about them real quick. The only thing that the Panthers should be happy about is that they beat C.J. Stroud and the Texans a few weeks ago. Other than that, this team is an utter disappointment. You know, quite dog shit, if you will. Tough to watch. You know, it's disappointing that they had this first overall pick and it's really not working out for them, and they just can't get things to click on the offense. Nobody was really expecting that. They were hoping for a turnaround since they got
Right.
since they got a good quarterback, but you know they've they still have one. They're only at one win, right? It's only that one against the Texans.
The Panthers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Titans aren't much better, so this game, it's another mid-off. Two teams competing for third place, but this game is possible for a long-awaited second win. We'll see how it goes, but it's at the Titans. They'll probably perform better with all the crowd noise,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Panthers on the road, still trying to get things to click. It's close, but not anything crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, after Levis outstanding 4 touchdown performance, he has literally lost 3 straight games.
Mm,
Not the coaching staff, play caller not using Derrick Henry at all, only finding Hopkins open on every drive. I really haven't seen him throw to anybody else. I don't even know who the other receivers are because he hasn't been throwing to anybody.
yeah, you don't
Um,
hear any other names being called.
yeah, no, not at all. Getting the defense more involved to make it more manageable game is key this weekend, as the offense is unable to get it together. So if they want us, if both of these teams want to stay in the game, their defense has to perform well because if one defense doesn't and one offense does, and then vice versa, that team's just going to run away with the game. So
Yeah.
we're looking at a low scoring game, I would say here, because I think the defense on both teams are going to be a lot better than the offenses. It's another game that I'm just not going to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely keep an eye on Will Levis because he's sitting on my fantasy bench right now after those 3 straight losses.
Yep.
I'm not putting up with it.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. The wheel picked the Panthers. Honestly, I think I want to take the Titans here. I don't know that they get the second win.
Yeah. I just don't know. I'm so torn. Like it's such a toss up for me. I mean, we know I picked the Panthers first win against the
Yes.
Texans that
Yeah.
week. So I don't know. Something's telling me that the Panthers are winning
Okay.
this game. I just I don't know. I don't. I really don't. I th- I th- I think the Panthers win this game.
Okay.
I'm gonna go the Panthers money line.
All right. We're gonna double down then. We're both gonna see the Panthers, hoping for
Okay.
hoping for a second win. Um,
I just
yeah,
like
I'm split with this,
something's
so I'll
telling
just
me.
I'll let you take it on this one.
All right, fair enough.
Uh, it's gonna need to be a breakout game for either team if they want to win here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see who can do it. We'll see who can do it. Next on the list, we have the Jags at the Texans. Jags are minus 118. Texans are minus 102 for money line favor. or money line odds, and then the spread is -1.5 in favor of the Jags. I don't have much to say about the Jags here.
They're a 7-3 team.
Yeah,
In their past 5 games, they've only lost one, and that was to the Niners. They got killed, but it was the pressure of the defense, and that defense coming off a bye week, same as the Jags. I mean, the 49ers were much more ready for that game. Um, Last week against Tennessee, Jags didn't have any problem, like we talked about last week. The pressure on Trevor Lawrence wasn't a factor there. Couldn't get to the quarterback, so score ended up being 34-14. I mean, they really just put the hammer down on the Titans. So um, we know Trevor Lawrence is a really good quarterback. He can toss, he can throw the ball long, he can throw short checkdowns, he can run around in the pocket, scramble sometimes. So you see a lot of versatility with this quarterback. Etienne needs to get some reps, a lot more reps. He needs a touchdown this game. I I don't know. I mean, they're 7-3. They're in the playoffs. I mean, playoff standing as of right now. Um, they're they're tied with like 4 other teams in the AFC right now. I think it's like the Chiefs, the Dolphins, them, and one other team or something. So, I mean, they're clearly playing well this season. So we kind of just have to see if they can keep it up.
okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, they were on the upswing before the bye week. They had that bad loss against the 49ers, and then they brought it back. But yeah, I didn't pay attention to it, so I didn't know how things went. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but I did pay attention to the Texans, and I can tell you that C.J. Stroud should definitely be an MVP candidate. At the very least, should be a Rookie of the Year candidate.
yeah,
This rookie quarterback is still number 2 in passing yards. Last week, he had more passing yards in the first half than any other team had total yards in the first half.
yeah,
This offense looks strong, and they're likely to keep it up. And this game, very much in contrast to the last game we just talked about, Panthers Titans. That one's going to be a defensive front. Whoever's defense kind of falls first,
right.
they're going to lose. But this one, whoever's offense falls first is going to lose. It's going to be likely to be a shootout from both teams. Probably going to be a
Yeah,
high-scoring game this week. And if C.J. Stroud could keep it up with the passing yards and the passing touchdowns, I feel like the Texans really stand a good chance to beat the Jags here.
yeah,
The wheel picked the Texans. I'm gonna argue that the Texans are gonna walk away with this one. I
yeah.
don't know if
I
you.
think I think the Texans win this game.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like both of these offenses are gonna show out. So
yeah. I
um,
think so.
this will definitely be an exciting game to watch.
Hmm.
It is projected to be close, slightly in favor of the Jags, but I think the Texans are good here.
Yeah. Um, all right. So next game we have is the Saints at the Falcons. The Saints are -112. The Falcons are -108, and the Saints are +1. So
Minus
it's
one.
projected to be -1. Sorry. It's projected to be a tie pretty much. It's going to be a really really close game. Um, Saints are coming off a bye week after the loss to the Vikings. Taysom Hill is proving to be a dual threat. And if he's still a free agent in your fantasy league, I would definitely suggest picking him up. Um, he's been balling out for this season, really, rushing, receiving, all kinds of sorts. So Derek Carr is an extremely mid quarterback, in my opinion. He is throwing so many passes and completing like barely any of them. He just continues to throw the ball, and just can't make like completions at all. He has Chris Olave is his top target. Somehow they're 5-5, and they're sitting at the top of the division because the NFC South is so absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Um, yeah, not the greatest division right now. If
Hmm.
your top team is at 500, then you're in a bad spot. Um, on the Falcons side of it, Ritter seems to be the starter for this week after the bye. Using Bijan more is what Coach Arthur needs to do, and he can't seem to decide. Sort of a mess in the backfield for the Falcons. They're sitting at 4-6. Big game here because it could decide the placement of these two teams in their division for the next week. It's kind of like both teams need a win here, but if they can't get things to click on offense, this game is going to be really slow. Offense
Yeah.
is not going to be putting up a lot of points. Defenses are going to be
Yeah.
kind of shutting each other out here, which is why the spread is so close. The wheel
Yeah.
picked the Saints, and I don't know. I guess based on the fact that the Saints have made things work and they're 5-5, you could argue that the Saints are going to win it. However, it's a home game for the Falcons. Maybe they'll put up some numbers. They'll call different people's names, get the ball down the field in a good way, and
Yep.
I think the Falcons have a chance to win it here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Falcons on this one. I
Okay.
think the Falcons come out with the win.
Alrighty. That'll wrap it up
All
for
right.
all the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. We've got a
Yep.
couple of four. We've got 4 o'clock games.
Yes.
Starting with the Rams at the Cardinals. The Rams are -115. The Cardinals are -105. And the spread is -1 in favor of the Rams. The Rams are coming off of a win last weekend against the Seahawks at home. They still are not looking as insane as they were at the beginning of the season. Kupp had another slow game. Nakua was at the front for receiving with 70 yards, which is much less than we have seen in previous weeks.
Yeah.
They used the run game a lot more. Freeman had 17 carries for 73 yards, and this defense, we'll have to keep an eye on the defense. With a heavier run game from the Cardinals offense. The Rams definitely have what it takes to win here. They have the offensive powerhouse, and their defense can hold on.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what the Cardinals can do.
Yep. Yeah. Kyler came back 2 weeks ago. He played very well against the Falcons, taking a win. Then he lost last week to the Texans, which ended up being a close game. That's why there is a chance because this Texans team is really, really good. So you could argue that the Cardinals could make this game close, maybe even have a chance to win it. If the run game can stay where it is, that could be some lethal play calling from the Cardinals offense. The Cardinals are looking for their third win of the season after going 1-13 without Kyler, and so far going 1-1 with him. So, my opinion, I think the Cardinals come away with this. I don't know what the wheel picked.
The wheel picked the Rams.
Rams, okay. I think the Cardinals come away with this game.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Their offense is definitely clicking a lot more now that they have Kyler back.
Yeah.
They won the first game, right? They won their first game with him back?
Yeah. It was against the Falcons. Yep.
Okay. So he beat the Call of Duty allegations in his first week.
Yes, he did.
But,
Yes, he did.
I'm pretty sure Thanksgiving weekend, Call of Duty is having triple-double XP. So, we'll see. But
I guess so.
If the Cardinals continue to click on offense, then I feel like we're not going to be seeing any trouble here.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals have a chance.
I think so.
They definitely need it. Being down so far in the loss column. But maybe we'll see a turnaround this weekend. Maybe they'll enjoy their Thanksgiving and have plenty of time to rest over the weekend, and then they'll be ready for Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with the Cardinals. The wheel picked the
Cardinals,
Rams,
yep.
and we picked the Cardinals.
Yes.
Next up, we have the Browns, who are plus 114, at the Broncos, who are minus 135, and the spread is minus 2.5 in favor of the Broncos.
Yep.
When I wrote this up, I was very confused as to why the odds are in favor of the Broncos, but
Yeah.
taking a closer look at it, they're on a 4-game win streak. They beat the Packers, then they beat the
Yep.
Chiefs, then they beat the Bills, and then last week they just narrowly upset the Vikings.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on here, but now they're tied with the longest active streak. It's the Broncos and the Eagles for four wins in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but it seems like someone gave Russ a cookbook and he's finally sticking to it. Um,
The cookbook.
I mean, I don't
Oh,
know.
the cookbook.
Maybe he's got something going on.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I don't know. They
I
turned it around though.
Yeah, quite the turnaround, and they definitely needed it after last season. Um,
Yeah.
man, it's just tough because I was rooting for the Bills and I was rooting for the Vikings in both of those matchups. So,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Broncos right now because they beat the two teams that I wanted to win. But
Yeah. Right.
obviously their offense is clicking. Their defense is holding on just enough to keep the other team at bay. Um, but facing the Browns this week, um, it's a tough defense. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, their defense does remain strong. They're likely going to keep them in remaining games. Even though they're out their QB1, which is kind of tough. Is PJ Walker playing? Is he the starter or is it DTR? Because I know
Uh,
DTR played last week, but he didn't play too hot, so I didn't know if they were
yeah,
switching.
I haven't seen who they've announced as their starter this week.
Okay. I'd like to assume that he's just going to play, and then if he can't, he'll just swap out mid-game. But
Yeah.
I mean, their backups have led them to victories against tough opponents. It was did PJ Walker beat them when they played the Niners?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because DTR's first win was last week, so I think that
Okay.
was PJ Walker. So it's kind of unbelievable that the Browns are underdogs coming into this game with a great defense and a quarterback that is good enough that he can help win the game. So kind of odd that they're the underdogs, but I'm gonna pick Browns. I don't know what the wheel picked,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go
the wheel
Browns.
picked the Browns too.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah. This seems like an easy pick for me since I'm very anti Broncos right now.
yeah, seriously, yeah. I think all Bills fans are anti-Broncos, all Bills and Vikings fans and
Yes.
Chiefs fans, I guess. But
Yes. Um, all right, two more in the 4 o'clock window. We have the Bills at the Eagles. Bills are plus 154. Eagles are minus 185. The spread is minus 3.5 in favor of the Eagles. I'll talk about the Eagles real quick. Their defense, along with poor coordination of the Chiefs' offense, kept them in this game. They were down 17-10 at the half after being down 14-0 in the first quarter, and their defense managed to shut the Chiefs out in the second half.
yep,
They put up 2 touchdowns on offense, one in the third, one in the fourth, and Jalen Hurts continues to get his rushing touchdowns despite not using the tush push as often. His first rushing touchdown was like 8 or 9 yards. He made it in,
yeah,
and then his second rushing touchdown. Unfortunately, that passing touchdown did not hit. They marked him short at like the 1 yard line, and then they just pushed Jalen in for a
yep,
touchdown. But their offense is high scoring, and once they started to get the ball moving, they were on a roll. They kept putting points up.
yeah.
So, their offense is definitely a force to reckon with, and their defense is as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous for this game.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the Bills' offense looks to be back on track following the promotion of Joe Brady. Now that Ken Dorsey's gone, Jets defense was able to heavily limit the offensive weapons. I mean, Diggs really didn't get too much action
No.
on the field in that game, so they knew to lock him up, but that just allowed all of our other receivers to have a good game. Like Kincaid had a lot of
Yeah,
catches.
Dalton Kincaid did really well.
Shakir had that crazy long
85-yard.
touchdown, that something like 81-yard touchdown,
Yeah,
and it wouldn't
longest of
have
the
been
season.
possible if Kincaid didn't lay that block on Sauce and the other DB. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, it the Bills defense has held strong even with the injuries. So, I mean, you have Rasul Douglas, who played out of his absolute mind. I mean, he literally went in that game, gave a when he was defending 0.0 passer rating. I think it was 2 interceptions
And a
or
fumble.
and a fumble recovery,
Yeah.
and just like he was just playing out of his mind. It was just the defense was playing really well. They'll need to keep it up in the like when keep up the pace when they're facing the Eagles offense. The Chiefs show that it's manageable if Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are held to a minimum, but DeAndre Swift is likely to get multiple carries, so we got to be aware of that because the Bills are known for not having the best run defense in the world. So we got to be aware of that. It's like one of the first teams that we played in a decent while that we have to pay attention to the run game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so we can either prepare really well for the pass game, and then they're just gonna run up the score with their running back, or we can prepare for the run game and then kind of let up a lot of yardage through the air.
yeah,
So and obviously, keep them at long downs. Don't let them get a
yeah,
chance at the tush push. Keep them short, or keep them for short gain.
right, exactly.
And we have yet to see it, but it's kind of been a joke through other sports analysts. Not that I'm counting myself as one right now, but kind of been a running joke through other sports analysts. Like, if the Eagles really wanted to, they could eat up the entire hour of the game and just do tush push 4 times in a row for every set of downs.
Seriously, yeah, they
So
they they genuinely could.
it would not be exciting to watch, but it's tough to beat, and they could do it if they really wanted to. But
Yeah, absolutely.
the wheel picked the Eagles, and I mean, playing a tough defense against the Jets last week, I feel like the Bills' offense is gonna click again.
Yeah,
I don't know that it'll be a super high scoring game because both of these defenses are good.
pretty good.
It's likely gonna be like the first turnover on offense or the first time that the defense lets the other team score.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna run away with it here. It's tough to say. Obviously, things are in favor of the Eagles. The Eagles have a home game.
right.
They look like a really good team. They're number one in the NFC, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's a tough matchup for the Bills, but they definitely have a chance to stick with it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close.
What do you think?
Obviously, as a Bills fan, I want to vote for the Bills here.
Yeah, I
You
do
know,
too.
we were on a stretch where it was
I
like
want
maybe
to.
we shouldn't, but
Yeah,
I
I'm a
know we
lot
looked
more
good last
confident in
week,
this team
so
now. Yeah, a lot more confident.
um, I don't know. I'm gonna mark it as the Bills.
Yeah, just do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
we're sticking with it. Bills win. Um,
Bills money line. Let's
and I,
go.
I am, I'll man up. I'll eat my words if that doesn't hit, but
Yeah, fair
you know,
enough. Fair
oh
enough.
well. Last of the 4 o'clock games, we're moving into the Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs are minus 395. Raiders are plus 310, and the spread is minus 9.5 in favor of the Chiefs. This seems to be right on target. The Raiders offense not all there. They're bouncing around with quarterbacks. They're not targeting Adams. He gets a couple of good plays here and there. It's not enough for them to get a win.
Right.
And then their defense is like very middle of the league right now. Playing against the Chiefs powerhouse, it's going to be tough. They might not be able to keep up.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Giants and the Jets in consecutive weeks. Lost to Miami only by 7 last week, so that's not really terrible.
Yeah,
We expected way higher of a score. I mean, I picked it was like the spread for that game was like 11.5 for the
yeah.
Dolphins, and it only ended up being 7. So,
Hmm.
um, I mean, the Chiefs, the loss against the Eagles proves this team still has some things to work on the offense. Receivers dropping balls. Mahomes in the interview did say he could have probably thrown it a little bit shorter for him, but I mean, all in all, man, like that ball was absolutely catchable. That is an absolute catchable ball.
Yeah.
That is a touchdown every
I
time.
mean, it hit him in the
And
hands. It
yeah,
was
it did.
there.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
had it.
he didn't have to reach out and dive for it like an insane amount. It was like it was there. It was catchable.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But that being said, I don't think this divisional game will be a challenge for them. I think they'll walk away with the win. I think this is their second time playing each other.
I think
I
so.
think. Um, I don't necessarily know, but
I'll look it up real quick.
it's kind of no, it's their first time playing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's their first time playing. So I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah. Game one
This
is
this will
now,
kind
and
of
then game two is Christmas.
Yeah. So this will kind of set the tone for this kind of divisional matchups. But I think the Chiefs come away with this win, even though it's in Vegas. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely gonna recoup their loss. Um,
Yeah.
they're gonna come into this game with a tiny bit of vengeance after the loss to the
Yeah.
Eagles. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chiefs are
Yeah.
walking away with it.
Yeah.
Chiefs for the
Think
wheel,
so.
Chiefs for us. That's an easy one.
Yeah. And then less than 4 o'clock games moving into the Sunday night game.
Yep.
We have the Ravens at the Chargers. Ravens minus 180, Chargers plus 150, and the Ravens are minus 3.5, Chargers plus 3.5. So the Ravens, with the loss of Mark Andrews and with the loss of Mark Andrews, Jackson is still able to find receivers downfield in both Say Flowers and OBJ. Their defense is still holding strong, still one of the best in the league. I don't think they'll have any problems putting up points and then maintaining a lead. I think it's going to be a pretty easy game to win, considering the Chargers are really on a decline right now this season. They have been for a while. It's the Ravens looked outstanding last week, so I really wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if they come out with a big win this week.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think the Ravens kind of run away with it here.
Hmm.
But the Chargers, tough loss to the Packers, and the team kind of looks rough despite having plenty of weapons on the offense. They've got Herbert, they've got Eckler, they've got Allen. They just need to find a groove this week to even have a chance against the
Yeah,
strong Ravens team. I mean, we know the
right.
Ravens are going to put up a ton of points, and their defense is really good, so it's going to prevent a lot of action on the Chargers offense. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing here, if the Chargers want to stay in this game, their defense needs to prove something because we know the
Hmm.
Ravens' defense is going to lock them out. So,
Right, right.
um, again, we have a matchup that's like very one-sided, even though it's
Yeah,
projected to be really close. If the Ravens' defense can keep them out, then they'll have no chance staying ahead, like you said.
right,
Um,
right. Exactly.
So the wheel picked the Ravens, and I feel like the smart choice is to also go with the Ravens here.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
it might be
think so.
close, but I don't know if the Chargers will have what it takes, even if they do click. Um,
Yeah,
it'll be something close, like a field goal or less.
yeah, I think so.
Um,
The Ravens are winning the game.
yep. And then we got the last one on the list. We got Monday Night Football. We have the Bears at the Vikings. The Bears are plus 142. The Vikings are minus 170, and the spread is minus 3.5 in favor of the Vikings. I don't even have to say it here. You should just kind of assume at this point the wheel is a huge favorite the Bears are a huge favorite of the wheel. So the wheel picked them again.
Yeah.
Justin Fields came back and he had quite the game. I think he scored like 20 points on fantasy, 21 maybe.
Okay, so not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know his stats exactly because I didn't watch the game. I was just keeping an
Yep,
eye
neither
on
did
it.
I.
Um, but they got things rolling, and it was nice to have him back. They were definitely lacking in offense without him.
Yeah.
But against the Lions, it's tough to perform on offense because their defense is so good. And then, they were up, what was it, 12 points? They had a 12-point lead, and
Yeah, it was like a 12-point lead.
they had a 12-point lead, and then they just let up all the score.
Yep.
And the Lions made a comeback in the back half. They
Yeah,
scored.
that was pretty crazy.
They scored 2 touchdowns and a bunch of field goals. The Bears.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Justin Fields had only 170 yards and 1 touchdown. Justin Fields was the leading rusher with 104 yards. Dante Foreman got a rushing touchdown. DJ Moore got a receiving touchdown. Their offense looks to be back on track now that Fields is back
Yeah.
and able to play.
Yep.
Now that he's healthy. But the same goes for the Vikings. They clicked.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yep.
The offense is there. So.
Yeah. I mean, the Vikings, tough loss last Sunday to the Broncos. That game was so close.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Dobbs, he's just playing. He's playing great. Offense looked like it was all there aside from the interception and the fumble. The Vikings are likely not going to stop rolling through the rest of their games because Jefferson is coming back and Dobbs is still looking hot. So the Josh Dobbs, Justin Jefferson duo,
Yeah,
I feel like that's going to be pretty lethal. That's going to be pretty
big.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Um.
It'll be a pretty insane duo.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then we've seen what Dobbs can do with his feet. So he's 3 for 3 with rushing touchdowns, having switched to the
Right.
Vikings. So, if you want to toss that out there, Dobbs touchdowns. Pretty
Yeah,
likely.
you could.
So,
Yeah, you could definitely toss that out there.
But yeah, that being said, the wheel chose the Bears, and I'm rooting for the Vikings here. I think the Vikings
too.
are gonna blow up on offense now that they have their star receiver back.
Yeah, Vikings win this game
Yeah,
for sure.
and they have a lot of offensive weapons. They've got Jefferson coming back. Addison was doing well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dobbs is phenomenal moving to this new team. So I think the Vikings don't really have to worry about anything here. I think they'll be good.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. You put the wrong team in.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. I meant to Yeah, I meant to put the Vikings. That's so stupid of me, dude. So dumb of me. Anyways, yeah, that's good. That's gonna be it. That's it for this week's picks for week 12. It's kind of early that we're doing this because I'm going away and yeah, we just had to do it early. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get the video out because of all the games that's happening Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So 16 games this week, long slate, but yeah, that's about it. Anything else you want to say?
Happy Thanksgiving to those of you that will be celebrating.
Yep.
If you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, celebrate having all 16 teams playing this weekend.
Yes.
Enjoy your time with family if you get a chance to see them this weekend.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's safe in their travels if you're going all over the place. It'll be a good weekend. So hope everybody gets to enjoy it.
Yeah, and enjoy your Blackout Wednesday, but don't enjoy it. Don't go too crazy. Let's just put that out there. So, stay safe, right? Are you going out tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I can't because I have to wake up for a 6 a.m. train
Oh.
to get to the airport for a 10 a.m. flight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because the airport's 2 hours away. It's a 2-hour train to the airport and then get there 2 hours before. And
fair enough.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. That's all we got this week. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next week for week 13.
Peace.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.